welcome back to my channel. So today is a really cool video. I'm doing a collab with Haddy the creator. Now Haddy the creator is a pretty cool artist here on YouTube. He does lots of drawing monsters as Pokemon. He does some pretty cool stuff as well other than that. Now we are actually doing, funnily enough, drawing Pokemon as monsters together, and we're both going to be doing one in this video, so it's going to be pretty interesting. So anyways, let's get into it, and today we are drawing Meowstic as a monster. Enjoy. So as I said earlier in this video, both Haddy and myself are going to be drawing the Pokemon Meowstic as monsters. Now the cool thing about Meowstic actually is that it does have two different forms, a male and a female form, and I actually let Haddy himself decide whether he wanted to do the male or the female, and he decided on the male form, so that's why I'm doing the female form. Now I love Meowstic. I think it's one of my favorite Pokemon actually. I just really love how it is a cute, adorable little Pokemon, but it also has a sort of, I don't know, stoic expression on its face. It's always like calm and not overly, you know, emotional looking, and I love how when I draw it in this drawing, because I'm actually drawing it sort of reacting to its monster counterpart, I'm actually like giving it a surprised look on its face, and that's actually sort of different to how it usually looks, which says something about the creature that it is looking at, I guess. Now today I am actually using Procreate on my iPad Pro to draw. I just really feel like doing digital lately. It's been very convenient for me, especially since a lot of the time I've actually been out of my studio, and I'm still able to draw and work on this stuff, so yeah, it's really good. So now for the monsterifying part of this video. Basically when I think of Meowstic, I think of like a cat Pokemon. It's very feline in nature, and I was going to sort of emphasize this, but I kind of went in a different sort of direction than I expected. However, I was quite pleased with the results. I ended up going in a sort of beast sort of aesthetic. I wanted to do it on sort of four legs and sort of crouching over with like sharp fangs and that kind of thing, and it kind of ended up a little bit more canine than feline. But to be completely honest, all I really wanted to do was give it a sort of almost like a werewolf sort of werecat aesthetic and have it sort of spooky. I wanted to give it sort of sharp teeth, a really wide, cheeky smile on its face, and sort of angry eyes, and just, I don't know, give it like a weird feel to it where it's probably something that is going to eat you if you come across it. But of course, I still wanted to keep a lot of aspects of the original design, and that's why I ended up keeping the ears mostly the same while sort of giving them a bit more of a pointed look. And the two tails at the back, I still had them sort of curled around how Meowstic's tails are curled, the female one anyways, but I ended up giving it a bit more of a scraggly look. The fur around its neck, I ended up making that a lot more scruffy than usual. Lots of sort of different parts of fur hanging down and going in different directions, just to try and give it a bit of a manic look. Now I ended up actually giving it claws. Now the original design doesn't really have claws. She sort of has little nubs for hands, and I think that's completely adorable, and I love that kind of look on a Pokemon. However, with a creepy beast, I ended up deciding to give it talons, like big claws, almost like cat claws on its hands, and this was just to sort of solidify that beast aesthetic and make it look like it could probably you know, claw your guts out if it really wanted to, which it probably does, to be completely honest. This is a monster, not your friendly sort of cat Pokemon. Now for the coloring phase, I ended up wanting to give it more of a sort of dirty look. Meowstic is mainly white, but I decided to go with a sort of off-white brownish kind of color for the white parts of this Pokemon, just a little bit warmer and a little bit dirtier looking, if that makes sense, because this creature is probably, you know, running around through a forest and killing everything in sight. It probably isn't that clean. Now, of course, I had to give her her trademark blue patterns on her, and I ended up giving a bit more of a scruffy look to the sections where it turns into the white. I ended up going with a bit more of a zigzag aesthetic, but I had a lot of fun sort of messing around with the textures and stuff like that on here. I used the smudge brush quite a bit, and I also had a lot of fun just like pushing those shadows really dark as well, because as you can see, it's a little bit more darker and a little bit more desaturated after I added in those shadows. Now for the eyes, I went in the completely opposite direction. I ended up having full saturation for that yellow and the red in the eyes, just to sort of make it look like it's almost glowing, how bright and colorful it is, because I really wanted those to stand out, and I also felt like it would give it a bit more of a creepy look to it. Now here is the final results for this drawing, and I absolutely love it. I love how it turned out. I know it's a little bit more of a beast instead of a cat, but I still feel like the look of the Pokemon is definitely there, and the colors are definitely there, and the patterns are definitely there, and I just really like how it turned out. Now don't go anywhere, this video is definitely not finished yet. We have Haddy here. He is going to be drawing male Meowstic as a monster, and I just can't wait to see what he's going to do, so take it away.
Hey Scribble Fixers, Haddy the creator here, creating something new to share with you. First off, I just want to say thank you so much to Scribble Fix for inviting me to do this collaboration with her. I am thrilled to have the chance to show you and your subscribers some of my monstrosities of Pokemon. I just love taking Pokemon and making them disgusting, evil, abomination creatures. So for this collaboration, I am going to take Meowstic and do the male version of him. I actually wasn't really introduced to Meowstic much before this. Even though I played Sword and Shield, I don't think I've ever encountered a Meowstic on there. Anyways, I am happy to draw Scribblefix. Anyways, I'm happy to draw Meowstic. It was what Scribblefix wanted, so Scribblefix gets what Scribblefix wants. It's kind of a tongue twister. So let's jump into Photoshop and start playing around with Meowstic. So jumping right into this, the format I like to follow is to draw the regular version of the Pokemon on the left hand side here, reacting to the Abomination version. So I'm going to draw Meowstic here, the male version, kind of scared. He's got his face blocked by his arm. He kind of has weird arms. He doesn't have fingers or anything, he just has these little nubs. So that'll be interesting when it translates into a monster. But yeah, I'm just going to draw Meowstic here, reacting, dodging, hiding his face from his abominable version. Now that that's done, I'm going to scribble in just a really rough design for this Abomination version. And then after I get a shape that I'm happy with, I will go in and refine it a little bit more with a little bit more details and do a second pass. And then when I'm happy with the second pass, I'll jump in close and just start doing the line art. So for this design, I wanted to give him some sharp teeth and kind of have him more menacing. Make sure his eyebrows are really furrowed, like he's really upset, bothered by this regular version Meowstic next to him. Got his cat slit eyes, kind of a little bit bigger than the original. Got some kind of bumps and some infection or swollenness around his eyeballs, kind of make him more gross. Since his hands and feet didn't have any fingers or anything, they just had the nub, I've turned that into a claw. Like the claw is kind of extruded out, his bone extended, and now it's turned into a big spike claw on the end. Right now I'm drawing on it with it flipped horizontally. This is an old artist's trick. They used to look in mirrors to look at their paintings. When you flip it, it's easier to see the problem areas and fix them. It just gives you a fresh look at the drawing and the design overall, and gives you a fresh set of eyes on it. So it's really nice to catch and correct things before they turn into too big of a problem. And then what I'm doing here is I'm putting a solid background color that's not in the drawing, and that way I can fill in all of the holes pretty easily with the method that I like to use for coloring. I use the pencil tool, so it's like basically drawing with a pen. It makes it really easy to fill in colors too, because there's no aliasing. So I'm just using black and just using transparent. There's no shades of gray to kind of smooth things out a little bit. And now I'm just doing some final details, some shading, some lighting, some color dodge, and some color burn. And then I will present you with
the Meowstic Abomination.
He was a lot of fun to draw up. Thanks again, Scribblefix, for the opportunity to collaborate with you. I am a fan of Scribblefix. I like her videos, and I really like her accent. She has the coolest accent ever. I had a lot of fun doing it, and I will see you later.